call them both the Cuban Klitschkos, like the Klitschkos. Both brothers, incredible talents. One's a 2016 Olympian, one's a 2020 Olympian. One's the youngest guy ever to make the Cuban Olympic team. Both undefeated Olympians. I mean, talent galore to say the least. You think about what these guys had to do, him defecting 10 times defecting before he got to the United States. Dainier almost died on an island in a sliver of land in between Florida and Cuba with nothing to drink. And as stuff was washing up, some people died obviously, as stuff was washing up, you know, from the ships and this and that. One of it was motor oil. They were so delusional, they were actually drinking a little bit of the motor oil because, you know, from thirst. And now that these two are here, I think it's only a matter of time before we have the first Cuban ever heavyweight champ of the world. It's one thing to become an Olympian, it's very difficult, we all know that, you know, for one individual, but to have two in the family is amazing. But what's even more amazing is that they're 6 years apart, had two different coaches, and didn't really train together. They had their own path because one defected to Argentina, the other one was still in Cuba, kind of followed his brother's footsteps, but with a different coach. Genetics, I guess, huh? DNA.
It's genetics.
I was real fortunate to be able to work with Lenier, and he says, Bob, I have my brother, and I think you'd be the perfect coach for him. So he goes, well, my brother's making his way to the United States. And I go, what do you mean making his way to the United States? I think he's in Mexico, but he's going to be here like in a week. And he says, can he train at your gym? And I said, well, sure. And that's how I ended up getting his brother, obviously, from Lenier. The thing about Lenier is he's the #3 heavyweight in the world, and his brother Dainier is the #9 heavyweight in the world. And up. He's got a good size for a heavyweight, big power, so he's fundamentally sound, and then we could capitalize on that. One of the big things that I had to do with him is get him to sit a little bit more on punches as you're making the transition from amateur to pro. Obviously, as far as footwork, speed, feints, they've worked on that pretty much their whole life in that amateur program. Getting them more consistent with the jab, those are things that we've done for sure. Because in the heavyweights, one punch. Both brothers obviously have a lot of style like Usyk. They have all that ability, all the skill set, the talent's there. But what is going to happen when the money comes? And so as long as they have the desire, the motivation, and the drive, there's no doubt that they could become world champion. And there's never been a heavyweight champ of the world from Cuba. Tape with the Cuban Klitschkos. The best is coming, baby. Gonna be heavyweight champ, the first Cuban to do it. Eddie, you're gonna make history. You're gonna make history as a promoter, you're gonna make history as a fighter. The first promoter to lead a guy to the championship as a Cuban heavyweight. Dainier, the Fear Pero! Let's go, baby. Pretty hot today. It's over 100 and something degrees. We prefer that than when we're at Mount Charleston. We have to run in the snow during the wintertime. We're headed up to Mount Charleston, get a nice good little elevation run with the heavyweights, you know, get a little bit of some light sprinting in, a little light shadow boxing, and get a little decent run in so we're ready for November 1st. We're still up here a couple thousand feet right here, but this is kind of like the base starting point to really start making our way up to the top. It's a pretty steep run, it's a tough climb, but it's something that's necessary if you want to take it to the next level and get to the top. No two ways about that. That's what we're trying to do, is be at the peak come fight night, November 1st in Orlando on the zone. Eddie Hearn, Lenier Pero, getting it done.
No, it's not easy. Yes.
It's 4 minutos.
He was running one time and we finished and he was like, I saw a coyote and I got some rocks and I was about to throw it at him. So now, every time you see him running up here, he has 2 giant rocks. And he shadow boxes with them now, so it's a part of his routine now. But it's crazy, crazy.
Ready?
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn, I'm ready. I'm watching you series on Netflix.
Oh, oh, oh! Ay, 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 let's go, baby. Hard work today.
Siempre Argentina hace un frío de pinga. Mira, con cojo 4.000 pesos.
Oh, triple? Stick it in the fire and be 165. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my brother. Me and my brother. And my mom. Watch it, watch it. Yeah, it's amateur the Pan American. 2015, yeah. This is my best moment. I am ready for hard work this year. I think a key knockout for Thompson. That's the discipline, stay here, hard work, good food, stay relaxed, everything. No distraction, you know, every time. I'm excited for this opportunity. I concentrate for Thompson. After, whatever you want, I'm ready.
Whatever Bob tells me usually is like steak, chicken, fish, salmon, and like turkey meat every now and then. They have some friends that live here. They get Cuban food from them and they'll come by and pick it up from them every so often because they're heavyweights, so they get a little bit of room. For heavyweights, it's just bigger portions than of what we give to the other guys. And then the Cubans can also have a little treat. If they want a little pastry here and there once in a while, a little cream in their coffee sometimes. Bob drinks his coffee black. He's always like, coffee's black. I'd be like, I just bought like some protein bars. We were like, oh, the protein bars are gone. What happened? I'd be like, did you eat them? He's like, no. So we have a camera that's up at the top that points towards the pantry. Then we got to where we started locking our pantry. So we have a lock for it. So, I mean, sometimes it's a bit of an inconvenience, but we know that whatever we're doing is going to help them to get to that next level. He understands Spanish and he can speak his own Spanish that the fighters understand. But I also speak in Spanish, like I can help assist, like I said, the medical appointments, the bank appointments.
Necesito pasaporte, ella no sabe de calle, pero le parte para arriba, que en la calle está lo único que le devuelve la vida. Escucha. Nadie sabe bien